You ever have one of those days where you feel like you're putting out fires from the second your eyes open? Like the laundry pile is calling, your inbox is yelling, someone needs something now, and before you know it, it's like 9 p.m. and you're wondering, wait, did I even do anything that actually mattered to me today? And if that's you, same. Because here's the thing, a lot of what feels urgent isn't actually important. It doesn't move the dial. It doesn't align with your values. And half the time, it's not even your urgency, it's someone else's. So today, I want to talk about the difference between urgent and important, why so many of us live in reaction mode, and how to start focusing on what actually matters to you. And if you're new here, I'm Suan, your mindful living bestie, and this is Cozy Notes, a podcast all about slow, intentional living. So let's dive in. So we live in a culture that glorifies urgency, speed, hustle, instant responses. There's this unspoken rule that everything has to be done right now. Someone sends an email and we feel the need to reply within seconds. The phone dings and we're Pavlov's dogs reaching for it before we even think. A teacher, client, or friend asks for help and we immediately say yes, even if it means sacrificing our sanity. We tell ourselves we're being responsible, helpful, efficient, but really, we're just stuck in reaction mode, responding to everyone else's priorities before we ever get to our own. And what's the cost of living this way? We neglect what actually matters. Our relationships, our well-being, our creativity, our peace. We go to bed every night exhausted but unfulfilled, and we wake up the next morning ready to repeat the same cycle because that's what we've been conditioned to do. So here are a few examples of urgent things that feel important but really aren't. Responding to every text, email, or notification immediately. Saying yes to last-minute requests that aren't your responsibility. Filling every spare minute with productivity or catching up. Checking your phone before you've even had a sip of water in the morning. Doing things that feel time-sensitive but won't matter a week or even a day from now. Urgency gives us a temporary hit of importance. It feels good to be needed, to check boxes, to say, I handled that. But it also keeps us stuck in a cycle of constant motion without meaning. Now contrast that with the important things, the things that rarely feel urgent but always matter, is quality time with your family and friends, taking care of your mental and physical health, building rest and reflection into your days, doing something creative or nourishing for no reason other than joy, slowing down long enough to ask, is this how I want to live? These are the things that fill your cup, that create meaning, but they're quiet. They don't shout for your attention. And because they're not demanding, they often get pushed aside for the things that are. You can't schedule connection or self-care between back-to-back emergencies. You have to make space for them. So how do you stop letting the urgent run your life? Well, for one, you can pause before reacting. The next time something feels urgent, take a breath and ask, is this mine to carry? Not every fire is your fire. Number 2, filter everything through your values. Before you commit, reply, or jump in, ask yourself, does this align with what actually matters to me? Number 3, reclaim your mornings. Start your day with something that grounds you, not your inbox, not your messages, not Instagram, not TikTok. Even 5 minutes of quiet or reflection can completely shift your energy. Number 4, block off time for what matters most. If you don't schedule it, it won't happen. Put your priorities on the calendar before the urgent fills the space. Number 5, let people wait. Here's the hard truth. Their urgency is not your emergency. You can be kind and still have boundaries. You don't need to be instantly available to prove your worth. And number 6, check in with your future self. Ask, what would my future self thank me for doing today? That question alone can stop you from slipping back into autopilot. So when you make this shift from urgency to importance, your life starts to feel different. Calmer, fuller, more intentional. You start living from your values instead of your inbox. So the next time you feel pulled in a million different directions, remember this. Just because something feels urgent doesn't mean it deserves your energy. The things that truly matter are rarely loud. They're quiet, steady, grounding, and they're waiting for you to come back to them. If you're ready to start living that way, to slow down, simplify, and focus on what's actually important, I'd love for you to grab a copy of my ebook, Unrushed, A Cozy Guide to Intentional Living. It's a gentle, practical guide to help you stop running on autopilot and start creating a life that feels aligned, calm, and purposeful. You'll learn how to set boundaries around your time, identify your real priorities, and bring more peace and flow into your daily rhythm. You can grab your copy through the link in the show notes or down in the description. And if this episode resonated with you, would you share it with a friend or leave a quick review? It really helps this cozy little podcast reach more women who are ready to live slower, simpler, and more intentionally. And I'll see you next time. Ciao.